Hey there, this is the Fat Loss System with Melissa, where we take the mystery out of weight loss, where we get rid of the confusion and we actually get some clarity so we can get done what needs to get done. I am going to show you something. It is so simple. There's nothing new under the sun. This system is simply my perspective on how to click in and understand what the science has already proven time and time again in a way that makes it relatable, understandable, and in a way that you actually realize it's working, and that motive will actually keep you on track. Because us bargaining with ourselves constantly, that stems from a lack of assurance of knowing what we're doing is working. If we know what we're doing is working, we're much more likely to continue it. If we doubt, bargaining comes in and we go off and we say, that didn't work. So we're taking the mystery out of it. I've got homework for you. All right. I just put together this little thing. I want you to do a screenshot of that to save that for later. Or you can rewind it and rewatch it and everything. So what I'm going to do is prove to you the amount of control that you have. Because you felt like you don't have any control. You felt like, oh, well, my metabolism is broken. Calories don't work the same for me. All of these things. And I understand why you believe it. Because we've all been there. And we've all been so bombarded with, low carb, low fat, omnivore, carnivore, vegetarian, eating timing, fasting, supplements. Just, we're clearing off the board. We're going back to basics and looking at it from a purely logical and scientific perspective that is indisputable. And I can guarantee you, if you follow the fat loss system I am providing to you to a T, you will lose weight. If you do it, it will work. It is backed by science. It's been backed by science for decades. It's just been lost in the confusion of too much information. And it comes down to energy balance. It really, really does. Now, don't run away from me yet. I'm going to spell this out for you, and then I'm going to show you using myself as a guinea pig, the person who has insulin resistance, PCOS, all sorts of other health issues, thyroid. I'm every single thing that you can say, but I mean, if you have legs, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are like, have struggles that I don't, but even if you have struggles that I don't, this still applies. You can have thyroid issues and lose weight, and it might even heal your thyroid. Imagine that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some math homework. I started out February 9th around 225. The measurement was 224.4, but then the next few days it went up to 225, and I'm like, well, the 0.6 pound loss makes me feel better, so I'm just going to own it. All right, so I have got my weight. By the time I started this goal, I had already gone down. I'm down 17 and a half pounds in about 6.5 weeks so far using this system. And what I have boiled everything down to isn't just like pounds per week, but every single day, the actions that you do that add up to the calorie burn that you need through calorie deficit, managing your intake, making sure you get your protein. We are protein people here. You're going to take your goal body weight and you're going to times that by 0.7 to 1, and that's how much protein you're going to have. I have, I do a range because some days life is bad. If I only get 100 grams of protein, it's not good, but I'm not going to beat myself up. But right around 125 grams of protein, because my goal weight is right around 150. The 157 goal is temporary. This is a push. This is my current goal time period. And I really recommend you doing a time period at a time because it really tightens up your focus. So now I am at 207.5. So we're just going to start from where I am now, and we're going to look at the calculations of what it takes to get where I want to be and when I want to be there. My goal is to lose 60 pounds in 6 months, and I believe it. The cat wants to join us, so if you hear scratching at the door, sorry. Oh, and he's meowing. All right, so you get, this is simple, 3rd grader sort of stuff. So if, like, there's no one that this is too complicated for. We're taking all complications out of it. The cat won't shut up. Okay, back to it. So here is the amount of time that I need to, or the amount of pounds, 50.5 pounds left until I reach my goal of 150 pounds by September 18th. That stupid cat at the door. Just kidding. We love him. He's a dog trapped in a cat's body. So what I'm going to do, I'm not just going to look at it as pounds because you can't really see as much progress as is actually happening when you're only focused on the pounds and the scale. It's, yeah, you can really just like, oh, I did that. I really did that. When you're starting from a number like this, here we go. At the top, I started with an excess of 68 pounds. That's the equivalent of 238,000 extra calories. And, you know, sometimes after we do this math, we just really need to sit with that for a minute and be like, you know what? I ate things that I thought I was being healthy, or it was just a little here and there. But something is off. Not all of us are born with proper hunger signals and satiety signals. Some of us with blood sugar issues, when you want to eat, it can really affect you in a way that makes it, I'm letting the cat in. It's it. I'm letting the cat in. I'll be right back. Are you happy, Cheese? Of course. Okay. We have company. Okay, where were we? My demanding cat. Yeah, let's just sit with that for a minute. 238,000 extra calories that have been on my body. He wants attention now. And they're squatters, because it's kind of like, I don't know if you all have ever had decluttering struggles. Have a cat butt. Great. But sometimes you get more and more things in your house. And just a little, it never feels like, it's like you don't go out one day and buy like tons and tons of stuff, and then suddenly, he's knocking everything over, and suddenly everything is overfull. This is Cheese, by the way. Say hello, Cheese. Meow. Okay. It doesn't happen overnight, and it happens little bits at a time. What I finally had to do with the clutter in my house was just be a little unhinged about, I'm just ditching it. I'm ditching it all. And I don't need it right now. I am getting rid of it. And, okay, I hope you guys like cats. And so that's what we need to do. We really need to like be intense about this. Some people have the personality where they can just go a little bit at a time, go lose a half a pound a week. And you know what? If you're going down instead of up, you will eventually get there. But for some of us whose joints are hurting with the extra weight on us, we got to evict those squatter calories, right? They're in storage. They're weighing us down. And having a big push to to get some of the stuff off is just going to be really, really beneficial. But you have to figure out the speed and level with which you want to lose weight, what's sustainable for you, and that's going to be different for each of us. So maybe you want to pause this, take a second, go and figure out how much weight you want to lose. Take that number, times it by 3,500. That's the number of squatters you have to forcefully evict from your home. So that it seems like a lot, but you know what? In only 6 weeks, that number went from 238,000 down to 176,750. That is a lot of progress. I have a couple of jars in my bathroom on the counter in order to help me really visualize it. I got a couple of jars at the dollar store, 'cause that's where you buy the vases. And I ordered this giant bag of acrylic diamonds that are like this big each. And I counted out every pound. So there's like diamonds in this jar and diamonds in this jar. And when I look at it, there's really like a quarter of what is in the other jar within just over 6 weeks. This can happen so much faster than you've been told it could. And now he's gonna go and walk back out. I'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. Okay. We're back. At some point, I will learn how to edit videos. I will. It's a goal. It's on my list. So anyways, going back to that, you have that number. That's the amount of calories that you want to burn through deficit. Now, most diets will be like, oh, you might lose this or you might lose that. They're in the air. How much weight can I lose? You know, I was in the keto cult for decades, and it made me feel so incredibly powerless, because you go and you do low carb and then you lose a little weight at first and then it just stops. And maybe you don't gain weight, but you're working so freaking hard. The carb cravings are like just crazy, because your body likes glycogen. It really does. And for years and years, I felt like I was a failure. There was something wrong with me. Why couldn't I, it left me with kind of an eating disorder. Okay, an actual eating disorder of this on, off, this binary thinking of I'm on low carb, I'm on keto, I'm in ketosis, versus I'm off. So I screwed it up, I'm failure, and this whole like give in mentality. That's not everyone. Some people do low carb and keto and they stick to it, and it works out. But the only reason it works is because they're able to eat that stuff in a deficit. It's not the carbs, it's the calorie deficit. And when you can only eat so much chicken and steak and eggs, it leads to a calorie deficit. It just does, but it's completely unnecessary. Anyways, moving on. You got your number, however many calories you have to lose, and I want you to pick a number. You can start this in any way that you want. With me, I wanted to lose a certain amount of pounds within a certain amount of time. I want to lose 60 pounds in 6 months. That's my first push. That'll get me to 157 pounds. And once I get there, I'm going to reevaluate what my next goal is going to be. But right now, 157. That's my goal. 57 pounds down to 157. Well, I guess it was 60 pounds. Anyways, so you go and you divide that number. See, right now I have 50.5 pounds left to lose. So I'm going to take, where was I? Oh yeah, and I'm doing an 1100 calorie deficit. That is my chosen deficit that it ends up being. You can play with these numbers however you want. You are in complete control. You can choose get a deficit per day that you're comfortable with and then move from there into, okay, if I keep this deficit, it will take me this long in order to lose the amount of weight I want to, and turn that into your goal to keep you on track. With me, what I wanted to do was say, here is the amount of weight I want to lose in this amount of time, and I divided the numbers out for that. So, oh, and this calorie deficit is going to be a combination of reduced calories and increased output. And it's worked. I've got the data. There's other videos with it. I might show it to you real quick too. So you're going to have your deficit. You take the amount that you have by your deficit. That's 160 days. If I meet that 1100 calorie deficit for 160 days, I won't just meet my goal, I will exceed it. However, there's a little bit of grace room going on here. This will get me on schedule for September 2nd to be at 157, but my hard fast goal is September 18th. But I have actually exceeded my own goals. I don't have to do an 1100 calorie deficit. If I am not very hungry, so long as I am getting like a minimum of 100 grams of protein on a non-lifting day, it's fine. I'm gonna count it. Today and yesterday, this is a really, really good example of how you go with the things that happen. I overdid it at the gym the other day and I hurt my hip. And so I'm missing some workouts this week. I'm not getting my steps this week, but I've got some buffers because some days I push more and I get way more steps. Some days I end up eating less because I'm just not that hungry. The more protein that, I mean, you want some natural GLP-1, eat some protein, honey. It fills you up and keeps you satisfied when it's done well, especially if you spread it throughout the day. However, at the end of the day, the protein total is the most important, but for hunger and appetite control, protein throughout the day is going to do you a lot better. Something that I personally choose to do because it works for me. I'm not so hungry earlier in the day, but I am at night. So I don't have some stupid cutoff number of 7 o'clock, I don't eat. Those are rules, not parameters. You are intelligent. I can tell you, just eat this calorie range and not give you stupid food lists and cut off times and fasting things. If you want to do those things because it helps you stay in a calorie deficit, that needs to be your choice. Don't do it because someone told you to. All right? So I have actually lost more than expected. I am closer to my goal. Here, we'll go through this and then I'll wrap this up. And I'm going to turn this into the next video of how I, on purpose, accidentally exceeded my goal. All right. So right here, you are just taking out the math, 160 days. And I broke it up a little bit too here. 160 divided by 7 is 22.86 weeks. So today is Thursday, March 26th of 2026. And that goal will get me to 157 pounds by September 2nd. It gets me there early because I've had those push days where some days I have gone above and beyond my goal of 1,200 calories and 1,500 steps. I know I just made it's 15,000 steps. And I know I just made some people, you can't do 1,200 calories. There's actually no science anywhere that says that 1,200 calories isn't enough food. I mean, if you know about it, show me the study because I can't find it. And I'm working with a doctor I've got my appointment with a dietitian coming up. I'm doing all of these things under medical supervision. My labs are drawn. My doctor is checking up on me. And she had some of the best advice on what is the proper calorie deficit. She said it's the one you can sustain. True. You know what? If you have some seriously difficult issues and you need to have a smaller calorie deficit and make it last longer because you can't sustain the higher deficit, that's your deficit. And there's no shame whatsoever on whether or not you lose 1 pound, 2 pound, or 3 pounds. This is personal to you. This is your life. This is your choice. This is the body that you have to live in, that you get to live in, that you get to love and you get to take care of and honor with what you know is best for you. For me, 1,200 calories is completely sustainable. I started a little bit higher. I started with a calorie range of 1,400 calories plus or minus 200 calories. So it went between 1,200 calories and 1,600 calories. But, and that was my goal, to be in that range. But then I realized a lot of times at 1,200 calories, that felt like enough for me. I'm like, I'm really doing this lower and it's working out good for me. So I'm like, well, why not just roll with it? And so I still have days where I go way under, but I also have days where I go over. It's the average that matters. Math is all about the averages because you don't reset your calories at midnight. You don't screw up your diet by eating a whole lot one day. It's how much you eat over the week, over the month, over the year. It's the cumulated average of calories. There's no magic like, oh, you screwed it up. So let's say you went and ate 3,000 calories one day, and over the next week, your hunger was really, really low, and you ate 800 calories a day. What's your average, right? You're not screwing it up as much as you think. But the more you have your eyes on the prize for the goal, it's so much better. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Please help me start and grow this channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow for more. Comments, please. I'm really looking forward to engaging you guys in the comments. The good, the bad, the ugly. Not too ugly. I might block someone if they're a little testy. Give them the mama. But yeah, I really love you guys and I really care about you guys because I've been where you are. I am where you are. And I know how hard it is. And I want us to work together. And I want you to be empowered. All right? I love you guys. See you next video. I can't turn this off. All right. I mentioned that. And the cat's back.